Good morning, Sharon. Thanks so much for joining me today on a beautiful Winnipeg morning.
Good morning, Ellowyn. It's great to be here. I'm indoors.
So you're back in the office now?
Yes, I've been back for a couple of months. I was working from home for 2-3 months, but right now our whole district here at PCL is back working. And we're managing through COVID by distancing ourselves appropriately.
Good. So you mentioned PCL. For those people that don't know, why don't you give us what your position is there and how did you actually end up at PCL doing what you're doing?
Sure. I have been with PCL for 33 years, all within the Winnipeg district itself. And I started in accounting, where I went to Red River College is where I started, and then I continued on with my education and stayed in the finance and contract administration. So my role has evolved to doing a lot of reading of contracts and insurance management and that kind of things. So interesting that I have been in the industry so long, but not technically boots on the ground. But I've stayed and I've loved this industry so much, where I find that I love watching from projects. I've learned so much from projects from an estimating stage, watching it evolve to the final product, to the completion stage, because I truly believe that even in the finance field, from the financial sidelines, I call it, it still is a great and exciting experience, and that's why I've stayed for so long.
Awesome. What do you think is the biggest challenge for women coming into the industry?
I would say one of the biggest challenges would be being included. Being included within the different groups. And I've seen changes throughout this evolving, where it's the inclusion is, the gap's getting less, where you're getting to be more included these days than from where I perhaps would have started. And no disrespect to the other, to the men in the group, for example, or even those in the field itself. It's just, to be included means you have to be present. And so I realized I needed to be present. I needed to align myself with people to get me included, to who could understand me and to work with them. So I've got some great allies that were help me come along and be present in getting to know people within my own organization, as well as within the construction community.
Okay. So what would you suggest to women that what they could do to really be present? What's some advice you would give them to put that way of thinking into their heads?
I would really say align yourself with others from your organization who are, well adversed within their own organization in regards to they network well with with a lot of people, they see people, but even within the industry itself, really get out there and be present. To really get in to be part of that organization in itself. To be present and do that and align yourself with really good, strong people.
Okay. And I guess that helps them have their voice heard then.
Absolutely. To have their voice heard, have those uncomfortable conversations. I think as another part is when you have an uncomfortable conversation it might be with your supervisor, and to the supervisors out there, the managers and the leaders, be willing to listen and really have those uncomfortable conversations is critical to get past any type of barriers that might be there. There's so many strong women out there. The technical side will be proven in itself, but they've got to take that one step further and to be present and to be allowed to showcase what they can do.
So you made a mention that you see the gap diminishing a bit. What do you think the biggest change you've seen in the industry? And 33 years, you have lots of experience to draw on.
Yeah, I have seen more women in operational positions. Still not enough where I think that, we would love to see a whole lot more, but I would say from zero to handfuls now coming into the industry. And I noticed this from whether you go from networking events or just within your own organizations or people I talk to in the industry, there are more women involved. So that's a huge change. I also find that today's age society is listening more. There is more of the openness to wanting to, hear about what some of the women's challenges are within the industry itself. So I see that happening, which is obviously a good step to closing it even further.
So what role do you think MWC plays in helping women be present and having those difficult conversations?
They're an advocate. They're an advocate for construction industry. They're an advocate to help others to get into the construction industry itself. And it's so vast. It's so open as to you could be from different positions within, whether from, I say, boots to the ground to the boardroom. It really matters, and understanding that what is it like, know what you want to do it, follow it, get your training, and just be allow yourself to get into this industry itself. And the organization, the association, helps a lot by advocating for this change and sort of aligning people to being that network, that resource to help them align better within their own organization itself.
Great. We're going to shift gears a little bit, and we're going to learn a little bit more about who you are. So a little bit of a lightning round. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. You can go with whatever jumps into your head. So the first question, construction, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay, morning, just morning, or a whole day, every day, in the evening?
All day long and weekend.
Okay. So are you a morning person or a night owl?
Morning person.
Okay, what time do you usually get up in the morning?
5 a.m.
Oh,
it is when I usually get up. I like to be in the office by 6:30. I like my me time to get stuff organized before the buzz happens and people are coming around. I find I'm probably my best at that time. Refreshed.
Awesome. So when you get some free time, would you pick up a book or would you turn on the TV?
Great question. I think I do a little bit of both. For me I would love to read books. I read so much at work with contracts and so forth. I find sometimes reading a book later only happens when I'm on my downtime, vacations, maybe long weekends, that kind of thing. So my evenings tend to go more to TV.
Okay, so are you cable or streaming service?
Mostly cable, but I find myself doing some streaming, but more cable.
Okay.
I'm a little old school in that.
Okay. If you are lying by a pool, it's 33 degrees outside, what drink is going to be in your hand?
Sangria.
Okay. Best vacation ever?
Ooh, great question. I'm going to have to say London, where my husband and I took our 3 daughters. London and Paris was our best trip ever. And then the second best would have been Germany with my husband and I.
Excellent. All right, I'm wrapping up these interviews all with pretty much the same question. We've had to work at home in a lot of cases for considerable time due to this COVID situation. What has that taught you about yourself?
I believe it's another great question because I've been pondering this as well. It has taught me to really trust others. And what I mean by that is I manage people as well. So it really has taught me that we all, we have great staff and we trust our staff, And I always knew I would trust my staff, but it was interesting that when I say about trusting others is knowing that work can get done at home as it can in the office. And so I found that there's a balance. Now I've realized that there is a balance that people can do, and the work is still getting done, and not saying that I never thought that they couldn't, but now we're in a situation where it's like, oh my gosh, is everything going to get done? And you really have to learn that you have to trust your people, because our people are our assets, and it's amazing what they can do.
That's a great comment. I love that. People are our assets, especially in construction. This is a service industry. We have to rely on our people, and if we don't, we'll never get anything done.
Absolutely. I mean, construction may have changed throughout the years, but the one common thing that stayed is people.
Excellent.
And the need for using them.
Yeah.
We need them.
Great. Well, Sharon, thank you very much for joining me. I've enjoyed it greatly. And I look forward to all these interviews coming out and getting some feedback from our members. So thanks for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me.